I'm gonna do it.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. JD, stop making me laugh because I saw that. JD, we are back. It's been a long weekend. We have a crazy college basketball slate to go over. I'm excited to be here with the boys. As you guys all know, you have JD with me from Line Movers. You have Hefe here with us from Hefe Picks. Over to JD. How are you today, brother? Stop making me laugh pre-show. That was a
doing good. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I just saw. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
We'll keep that between us. We'll keep that between us.
We'll just go on there. Yeah, man, doing good. It feels like I haven't done a show in like a week. Like I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know why. It feels so long. So yeah, just definitely happy just to be back here and just actually ready to talk some games, man.
Hell yeah, bro. My favorite part about my day during the week is getting on here and chopping it up with you boys. I always love getting on here. And JD, I agree with you. It's weird. Right before the show today, I was like, man, we haven't been on a show in a while, it feels like. Yeah. So it's good to be back. Hefe, over to you, brother. Looking good today. Looking fresh. How are you today?
Doing good, man. I mean, yeah, feels like, I don't know, like that. It's just been that first weekend without like football. And it felt like a long ass weekend, man. And like even yesterday, which was probably the first sports day in a while, no NBA, not a lot of action in college basketball, hockey's still on a break. It was like one of those days where like, damn, it like reminds you like how like king football is.
Yeah. Also, though, it's good to have basketball back. I mean, it basically was like a Division II day yesterday. There was only one or two Power 5 conference games yesterday, so it was really a small slate. And it's been the first time yesterday that we didn't have any NFL or NBA since last year. So glad this is almost over. As you guys know, we have basically survived the NBA All-Star weekend. Once this is over, we have games consistently that lead us right into MLB season. So we're almost through the tough stretch of February here, so this is the last kind of lull spot that we have. Fellas, before we get into the games today, I do want to ask, because we haven't really talked about it, what do we think about the NBA All-Star Weekend? We don't really cover a lot of NHL on this show, so I'm not going to bring up the Four Nations too much, but all I'm going to say is, if you let me get there, all I will say, I'm not a hockey person. I am so into the Four Nations Cup right now. What the NHL has done with their All-Star break has been fantastic. They really knocked it out of the park. Well, the NBA has a lot to figure out. However, Hefe, I'm going to go to you first because I have to give you credit. You perfectly called that Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry would win the MVP. The game was in Golden State. I tailed you. A nice plus 500 winner for me, so thank you very much. What did you think of NBA All-Star Weekend?
I mean, the weekend in itself is absolutely garbage.
David's
it sucks. The problem is the NHL can do something that the NBA cannot. NHL has the ability to have multiple nations and have them be competitive, right? Canada and USA is literally a toss-up, which is amazing. Speaks to the game of hockey and how global it is. But, you know, you have your European nations like your Finland, your Sweden, and there's other nations that could compete, but these are, you know, the top four. NBA can't do that. You can't, even Canada can't compete with the United States. And Canada has some great players, SGA, RJ Barrett, Jamal Murray, Dylan Brooks, just off the top of my head.
They can compete a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
No, they can't. You're wrong. We can have a whole other talk about that. But if you, no, they can't. And then Spain, just not enough. France,
they could totally do it. They could totally. Kyrie's already Australian now. You heard that? Kyrie applied, which is basketball citizenship to Australia, so they could have them.
Stop right now. Name me two French players other than Wembayama and Evan Fournier.
I was going to go with Evan Fournier.
You can't even name me the number one in the
Zachary Riza. You got to give me 30 seconds here. I can get there. We have Riza Shea, who's a good player.
There's two on the
Rudy Gobert. Come on. There could be a French team.
What are you gonna say next, Tony Parker? He's calling
Yeah,
off the bench.
I was kind of, I mean, I'd have to look into it. I don't know though. Let me see here. French.
The point is the NBA can't do this, but I have an idea, and it's been
Alex Sarr, Zachary Rizachet, Frank Ntilikina, Nicholas Batum. Come on. Yabusele from the Sixers. We talk about on the show all the time.
I did forget about Frank Ntilikina. France probably opens up as favorites. You're right.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, Joe. All the guys here are saying the same thing. I do, and it's funny. Joe's right. I think all of us were thinking Tony Parker could maybe come back for the tournament if we went down
just
route.
Like for some reason, when anybody says Spain, I think of the most random player. I was thinking about Luis Scola, who I'm pretty sure
he's not from Spain.
Olympics.
Pretty sure he's from Argentina. If I had to guess, I believe
is that Argentina?
I believe he played on the Argentine. I'm going to look it up now, but I'm pretty sure Scola played on Argentina.
Oh, please look that up immediately.
Argentina. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're a genius. Here's my idea of what the NBA has to do. They have to do a one-on-one tournament. They have to, and I think if you put $1 million on the line, which the NBA could easily do, players are going to be up for that. Next, I would love to see and take away all this nonsense of All-Star Game, a Saturday night. I mean, because the dunk contest is dead. You're not going to get the top stars to do it. All these skills competitions are dead, and just do like the MLB does and make it about one event, but make it a larger field. Make the 3-point shooting contest your thing, man. Like really buy in. Expand that from like 8 to 12 or even like more than 12. I don't know. But like make it a whole thing, multiple rounds, like make it a whole night. And then something that I think will be super cool is like instead of having it like in like these random NBA arenas, move the All-Star Game to somewhere else. Like have it at random places. Like I don't care. Have it at Rucker Park. Do something fun. Go overseas with it. And then have it where like it's the world versus the United States, but in the world's turf. You know what I'm trying to say? So they got to do something. But what happened this year, it honestly is not even the players' fault. It's the NBA's fault. It was horrible.
Canada has a lot of NBA players. I have to give David credit. David's been ripping names in the chat here. We appreciate you, David. And yeah, I agree. I do think they should do something because I do think the NHL has made it clear. The players are only going to try when there's stuff on the line, such as your nation, such as representing your country. So I think the NBA does need to figure out a way to do that. Maybe that be a 3v3 tournament, maybe not a full 5v5, so teams could have fully stacked lineups against each other. But there are ways I do think they could be able to accomplish
3v3 tournament, like a playoff the big three would be fun. And another thing I think, if they're going to use this format, do not let the fourth team be the winner of the Rising Stars.
You're so right.
Just garbage. I know it sucks, and I don't know a better word other than snub, but an all snub team would be cinematic.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be fantastic. And one more thing before we go over to JT. Nick, that was so lame from Wemby and CP3 to try and rig the skills competition where they just threw the balls instead of shooting it. It was super lame. I was very happy they disqualified them. It was super lame. That's the way I could put it.
Knew that nobody's taking it seriously. And when you're not, even though you're not supposed to take it seriously, like I want to use the home run derby, and then we can move on as like a point of reference here. I don't know about you guys. I enjoy the home run derby, and I think all the participants take it seriously. And most years, they get stars to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not Aaron Judge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe not the hardest
and
best
home
run.
He's done it.
Exactly, he has done it. But in normal years, you're getting known players who are stars. You're not getting the Mac McClung of the MLB to do the home run derby, is my point.
Correct, I agree. They're not going to use Spencer Jones of the Yankees minor league system, the best minor league home run hitter, to do the MLB home run derby. I agree with you 1,000%.
And so I think where they could do that with 3-point shooting. They always get stars to the 3-point shootout. Expand it, make it more fun. Add a half-court shot. I don't know. Do something.
Spice it up. I agree. Spice it up. JD, what do you think? Do you agree? Did you like the NHL's version so far? Are you interested in the championship game between USA and Canada, which I believe is at Thursday night at 8 p.m.?
Yep, not interested in that shit.
I think it's awesome.
I mean, as far as the actual like NBA All-Star game, nothing. I didn't watch any part of any of that 3-point contest, dunk contest game. I had nothing to do with it. Couldn't even
It's
tell
boring.
you who even won. As far as the hockey goes, I've also kind of used this time as a break from both these two sports because I cap so many other sports.
Yeah.
And with everything else going on, I've kind of taken this time to focus on those other things. But as far as actually like the hockey goes, man, like that's what you're seeing everywhere. Like people that don't even talk about it. Like you're seeing them like talk about it now. So, I mean, so actually just as far as like who's like doing a better job, it's very clear there. And also shout out Nick, man. He is giving out so many picks like on that whole thing, the whole like, and he's just hitting like crazy.
Hell yeah, Nick. Hell yeah.
As actually like as far as in the Discord, he's actually giving multiple free plays every single day on it. So get in there.
Crypto Warrior asked a question: Will Thursday night have more viewers than the NBA Finals? You can't really compare it because it's a one-off game compared to a potential 7-game series. We're talking if the NBA Finals go 7, I think Game 7 of the NBA Finals would have significantly more viewers than Thursday night. But if you're talking about Game 1 of the NBA Finals, I think Thursday night would probably have more viewers.
See, it's hard. Basically, Thursday is just the NHL All-Star game, right? That's all it is. So the only thing you can compare it to is another All-Star. That's what you can't compare Thursday night to any champ.
Why? What about an Olympic gold medal? I know it's not the same magnitude, but they're playing like they care. 3 fights in the first 10 seconds of USA Canada. They are playing like they care.
Oh, but that's why everybody was into it. I'm not even going to lie to you. I knew that game was on, and I forgot what night it was on, but I was not watching. And all of a sudden I see all these things popping on my social media. This fight, that fight, the Chuck brothers both got into fights. All of a sudden I turned that thing on. It was great hockey, nonstop great hockey. We also have to remember it's for 2 reasons. A, these guys are all the best players in the NHL. They just so happen to be either from Canada or United States. I mean,
well, there were other good players. Finland had some stars. Sweden had some stars.
I understand, but specifically Canada and USA, all these lines, they're all
absolutely.
They're not nobody who's the second liner in the team, and that's why it's amazing hockey. And when you put your nation on your chest, man, these people care. I always say Olympic hockey is amazing. I will never forget 2 Olympics ago when TJ, I think it was TJ Yoshi, put the team USA on his back.
I think it was 2011-ish.
And got them to win over Canada. I'll never forget that. It's incredible. And you're seeing, I mean, I can't wait till Thursday. I'll tell you one thing, though. That Thursday night game, USA-Canada, is going to outrank any NBA game that's on that day.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that will be the marquee game. Nick, I agree with you. I've been getting texts from friends that I didn't even know followed sports. Some of my friends from way back saying, what do you think of the hockey? Who are we going to beat Canada? So it's really drawing a big fan base in. Even the casual sports fan has been enjoying it. All right, fellas, but we do have to get into today's action. We are about 20 minutes into the show. We have 5 games we're breaking down, and we've done none of it. So you boys ready to break down some of today's action? Give the people out there some winning bets?
Let's do it.
Hold on. First of all, I saw a comment about New Yorkers. I have to read. What does this mean, Joe? Foreigners are like New Yorkers. They're passionate about where they're... Okay, that's fair.
I agree.
Crypto Warrior says loser of the Canada-USA game gets taxed 25%. No, it's whichever loses gets taken in by the other country. So if we win, Canada is a part of the United States. If we lose, we are now Canadian. So let's go USA. All right, boys. We're going to dive into 5 college basketball games. You boys ready to do it?
Yes. Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it, gentlemen. First game we're breaking down today is going to be Villanova taking on UConn. Villanova's coming in 15-11 on the year. They're 8-7 in conference, taking on a UConn team that, man, UConn just lost to Seton Hall. That was a pretty bad game. UConn's coming in 17-8 on the year. They're 9-5 in conference. Hefe, does UConn look for a little revenge today after coming in off their worst loss of the year? Are they going to embarrass Villanova at home and take it to them? What do you got in this game?
Yeah, they are. Quite frankly, UConn is entering the realm of a place I didn't think they would be. Bottom of their conference, unranked, kind of just playing uncharacteristic, lousy basketball, which is everything that they haven't done for the last 2+ years, especially under this coach. I flat out think this is a Hurley screaming at his team the entire game, even if they're up 20, all gas, no brakes. They must show something tonight.
I think that
All gas, no brakes. UConn's a better team at home than they are on the road, but which team isn't? Villanova, the opposite. Makes a lot of sense. Look, Eric Dixon's a great player. He's averaging 23 a game. He's balling out for them. But I absolutely think UConn pedal to the metal tonight. All gas, no brakes. -9.5 spread. I'm seeing it right now, -9.5. So I'm gonna roll with it and make it win by double digits.
it's kind of funny because this game opened at 6.5 to 7, and it's just kept steaming and steaming to UConn. It's a little nerve-wracking right now. I don't really want to take the -9.5 when it opened up at 6.5, 7. So for me, I am going to hold off on this game. I do think UConn does rout them, but they've just been such a hard team to read this year. You take a look at all their most recent games. Only their game against DePaul at the end of January, they won that game by more than this spread. So I'm a little hesitant. I may end up getting myself on the UConn train by tip-off, but as of now, it's a no play from me. JD, what you got? David, by the way, likes UConn tonight.
Well, these two teams played back in January, and we came on this show and we broke that game down.
Yep.
And as far as the over, I absolutely loved it. And, well, UConn could not make shit that entire game. Yes. Yeah. That game went actually under by a fair bit. They couldn't do shit, especially the first half. Like in the first half, I forgot what the actual score was, but they were actually Nova had a big lead. UConn came back in that second half. They actually had free throws to be able to tie and then win. Missed those. So then Nova won. It was just a bad game. It actually really was. And now tonight, you have UConn coming off this loss to damn Seton Hall. They were a 13-point favorite, losing outright. Just like Hefe said, tonight's the night. You just want to back UConn.
It feels like a UConn game, 100%.
It definitely is. Just everything as far as coming off the loss, as far as everything that happened in season so far. I'm actually playing this one a little bit different though. I actually like UConn first half. I like them to specifically come out really tough, really ready to go first half. I got that at -4. Looks like it's -4.5 now. There's fine. And with the spread moving up, I would just definitely rather take that more than the full game. And also, as far as the total, I still have to lean over here again.
You and David's with you lock and key today.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, the over I think is still a good play. I just like this. I actually like UConn first half a little bit more.
There we go.
One thing I just looked because I thought I saw it over the weekend. Big look ahead spot though for UConn. They play St. John's on Sunday.
Yep, you're absolutely right. But it's only Tuesday, so they do have a lot of time to get ready.
I know. I forget why they give these 5 days off or whatever.
Yep. Well, we're about to get into the busy season. We're about to get into the conference tournament season. So these are the last couple days these teams have to rest. So we're getting down to the crunch time here. But let's move on to the second game on the docket tonight, which is going to be the 13th ranked Purdue Boilermakers coming in 19-7 on the year, and they are 11-4 in conference, taking on Sparty, Michigan State, coming in 20-5, and they are 11-3 in conference. Hefe, I've been very big on this Michigan State team this year, and I've been very not against Purdue, but I have faded them a decent bit. Purdue's coming in off back-to-back losses. I did have Wisconsin over the weekend. I believe it was on Saturday. Wisconsin was a 6-point dog. They ended up winning by 10 outright. Game before that, I had Michigan against Purdue. Michigan ended up beating Purdue by 2 with the buzzer. But on the other side, Michigan State is coming in off a very big win against Illinois. They were on the road at Illinois, and they won 79-65. This team is 11-3 in conference this year. They are 1 game back of Michigan for first place in the conference, and they are tied at 20-5 overall with Michigan as the top team in the Big Ten Conference. I will start this one, guys. As you guys know, I'm the Big Ten guy. That's the conference I follow more than any other conference, and I absolutely love Sparty in the spot, minus the 3.5. This Purdue team has only done as well as they have because of Coach Matt Painter. They're not as talented as they normally are, as we've seen in previous years. They don't have a Zach Edey. They don't have a big man down low. They don't have a Luka Garza. We're used to them having one of those big guys down low who can put up 20 to 30 points every single night. They don't have that. Yep, they've had a ton of guys. Great throwback to Robbie Hummel, who actually announces the games on the Big Ten Network.
I know I'm doing
But Purdue's just not the same talented team as they always have been in most recent years. They play some fantastic team basketball, though. They're coached tremendously. They have one of the best coaches in the country. But it's not going to be enough against Izzo and Sparty tonight. I do think Michigan State takes it to them. It is my favorite play of the night, and I think Michigan State probably wins this game by at least 10 points at home. Hefe, going to go over to you. Do you agree with me? What do you think?
Yeah, Sparty doesn't lose 2 games at home in a row. They're actually coming off a loss. I know their last game was on the road against Illinois, but their last game at home was a L to the Hoosiers, actually.
Yep.
Uncharacteristic loss.
Very uncharacteristic.
So I think with that being at the forefront, let me tell you something. If you think Tom Izzo in his game breakdown or his pregame speech isn't bringing it up, that last time they were on this court they lost, so they got to make up for that, then you have never watched a single Tom Izzo game ever in your life. I really like Michigan State in this spot. They are a much better team in 2 very specific categories against Purdue that I think is going to help them. Blocks and rebounds.
Yes.
They have much better statistics than Purdue does, and I think that will force 2 things. A lack of second opportunities for Purdue on misses. A lack of availability to get to the rim because of the protectors that they have, and second opportunities for Sparty, especially on the offensive side, on misses for rebounds. So give me Sparty minus 3.5. I'm with you.
Let's go, JD.
To me, this is just an interesting game when you look at who, or actually both of these teams' previous games. They're 2. I'm not sure the word I'm trying to find. So actually, let's just go into those games. Let's see. As far as actually Purdue, they played Wisconsin the last game. They did not play bad. As far as in the second half, Wisconsin literally could not miss. They put up 58 points in the second half.
It was awesome.
Literally could not miss. So that was, you can say what you want, but that to me really wasn't that bad of a loss. They just literally couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Then you have Michigan State, and they played Illinois their last game. And that second half was the exact opposite. Illinois could not make a basket. I believe they went something like 16 shots in a row they actually missed.
Yeah.
So anyway, for this game here, is just as far as actually averages go, I think they, from both sides, start to come back actually to the mean here. So when I'm just looking at actually numbers here, I do like Purdue in the first half getting 2 points. I think this first half should be very close. But as far as full game, I could see where State could actually pull it out there, though. But I do think the first half is going to be very close.
All right. Well, let's see a very close first half with a blow-away winner for Michigan State in the second half, and everyone will be happy there. Fellas, let's move on to the third game that we have on the docket for tonight. I think I've said on the docket 3 times now, so I'm not going to say that again. But let's keep it rolling. Texas A&M is coming in 7th in the nation. They're 20-5 on the year and 9-3 in conference. They also come in as the best rebounding team in the nation. They're going into Mississippi State, taking on the Bulldogs, who are coming in 21st in the nation, 18-7 overall, and 6-6 in conference. I do want to talk about the ESPN BPI in this one, only because they have this one as a dead even game. Very rare that you see that, but this one is dead even. Will Wade Taylor be able to get this Texas A&M Aggies team going, or will Hubbard continue to be one of the best prolific scorers in the nation? Hefe, we're going to start with you. What do you like in this game?
Oof. This is what we call a sneaky line. A&M winners of 5 in a row, most recently at home over Arkansas, at home against Georgia, but also 2 good road wins at Mizzou and South Carolina. Meanwhile, Mississippi State here, forget about what they've done on the road, which is win 2 games in a row. That's not where we are tonight. They're at home tonight, where they have lost 3 games in a row. Florida, Missouri, Bama. 2 of those teams really, really good in Bama and Florida. Yes. Obviously, can't fault them in that. But Missouri's a bad loss at home. A&M is a much better defensive team than Mississippi State is. Mississippi State is actually has the ability to win this game via just the offensive production that they put up, the field goal percentage that they have, and the only big disparity, and Alfie, you mentioned, is the rebounding.
Yes.
I'm taking Mississippi State here, guys. This should be -2.5 to Texas A&M based on the numbers and how this goes. Mississippi State has to have some pride on the line in front of the home crowd. Cannot lose 4 games in a row at home. Just can't.
Yeah.
I'm not in the SEC and expect to make a name for himself. Speaking of the SEC, did you see the an over-under just came out for how many SEC teams will make the tournament? Did you guys see this
I
number?
did not.
Perfect. Take a guess. I know the over-under. Take a guess. Don't
SEC
like
teams.
not how many teams you think will make it. What do you think the over-under is set at? The over-under of SEC teams to make the tournament, the NCAA tournament.
7.
What do you think, JD? So 64 teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna
7
say
is my prediction.
I'm gonna say the line is set at 7.5.
11 and a half.
11 and a half.
That's ridiculous.
11 and a half, guys.
It's not possible.
The percentage of an SEC team making the Final Four is going to be insane.
Yeah. Yeah, they're this year's Big Ten. The Big Ten's having a down year. They're having a very big up year. So they're having a great year. So that is a wild number. I did not expect to see 11 and a half. Shout out, Doc. We appreciate you tuning in as always, brother. And I'll jump in here next. This is such a stay away game for everything that Hefe said. I do believe Texas A&M should be favored in this game by close to 3 or 4 points. They're not, and I think they're the significantly better team. Mississippi State has not been great against the cover this year. Texas A&M has been great against the cover. So all signs point to this being a Texas A&M game, but the line makes no sense. So for me, I'm definitely going to be staying away. JD, tell me why this is the max play of the millennium. Somehow I know you're going to have something to find on this game.
Nah, man. To me, this is just actually y'all said this is a complete stay away game.
I agree.
I make this as Texas A&M, even on the road here. I have them favored by actually almost 2 points.
Yeah.
So that just tells me that this is like a Mississippi State spot. But as far as actually like A&M goes, they've been a great road team. Like, and actually, like we've been on them a whole bunch.
They're one of the best covering teams in the nation this year. They've done so well against the spread.
So, like, it's just not a team that I want to bet against. But it just seems weird though. Like I said, with everything, normally when my numbers say something like this, I normally just automatically just go ahead and bet it. This is one I just still haven't done yet. This would be a money line play though.
On who? On Miss State?
No, the other.
Oh,
side.
on A&M.
Yeah, if actually that's the side that you would want to play, I actually would
125
points. Yeah, this is a game where either actually like I just think like State either wins and like covers that fine, or either like A&M actually wins like outright. So
yeah,
so like if I do end up playing it, there's how I'm gonna do it.
You know what I always like? You know what I always think about like a game like this? Like if this game was yesterday, right, where the slate was so small, the amount of I think eyes on it and the line would I think be a lot sharper. In a day like today where there was like 20 plus ranked games, I think it's a little less, where like because there's so many like you just said, stay away, so many other things to look at. You know what I mean? I think that's how most of people feel when they look at this.
Yeah, and let me quickly just put it out there. I know I talked about how these two teams have done against the spread this year. Texas A&M is 14-8-3, covering at 64%, one of the best teams in the nation against the spread. Then you take a look at Mississippi State, and they are 11-14. They have not been good, and they've won a lot of ball games this year. So they win a lot, but they don't always cover. So just be careful.
They've also been really bad at home.
Yep, 100%. And in conference, they're 6-6 in conference. So for me, it's just a weird game. If you're to take anything, I would take the plus money, as Parlay Prince said, but I would not go heavy on this. Do not go put retirement money on this. There's a lot of better options on the board today. And in my opinion, one of the better options is going to be in this Illinois taking on Wisconsin Badgers team. Illinois is coming in 17-9, boys. They are 9-7 in conference, taking on a Badgers team that is much better than I thought they would be this year. They're ranked 11th in the nation. They're 20-5 on the year. They're 10-4 in conference. Wisconsin's coming in off a very big win over Purdue, but not just that. The game before that, they beat up on Iowa. The game before that, they beat up on Indiana. The game before that, they beat up on Northwestern. So they are on a decent win streak here on the other side. Illinois has had some tough games. They lost to Michigan State. They also lost to Rutgers in one of their most recent games. So they've had a couple tough losses. They beat UCLA, which was a good win for them, and they also beat Minnesota, who, let's be honest, who doesn't beat Minnesota in 2025? So that's not an impressive win to me. All that being said, JD, we're going to start with you. What do you like in Illinois, Wisconsin tonight?
Both these teams, I actually talked about them both.
Yep.
But this game to me, as far as the side, I really don't have much. As far as this line, I think is about right. I have no lean as far as either side here. But there's one thing that these teams are going to do, and they're both going to be willing to actually run here. They can both score well. As far as the model here, I have it at actually 160. It's weird as far as the model goes, as far as totals. It really doesn't get up higher than actually that for just any teams and any games. So it's hard for me on totals that high to ever really show value there. With that being said, something about it doesn't feel quite right to me for this particular game. When just looking at it, over seems like it would be the only way that I would bet it, but something to me about this certain spot tonight just doesn't feel right. So I'm just staying off.
I respect that. I'm all over Wisconsin on this one. I think if you guys heard me speak earlier about this Wisconsin team, you probably had a good feeling which way I was going on this one. But I am taking Wisconsin minus the 3.5. I've been very big on this Wisconsin team this year. Early on, I was not. But as I said, the Big Ten is the conference I follow closer than every other conference. I've watched most of Wisconsin's games this year, and they're just a very well-rounded team. They have players that can score all up and down the roster in the starting five. They also can rebound very well. They defend pretty decently as well. And they're a much better shooting team than Illinois. And Illinois really has struggled this year, especially from the three. I do see that David's put that in here as well. They shooting 31% on the year, which is true. They really have struggled from three. And then you're going to put them on the road at Wisconsin, where the Kohl Center is going to be rocking tonight. I think it's going to be a little tough for them. So give me Wisconsin. This is another Big Ten team that I think will win tonight by 10 points at least. So give me Wisconsin. It's probably going to be my free play of the day. So if you're here, you're getting it early. That's probably my free play of the day. Hefe, do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you got?
I'm with you, man. I like Wisconsin here at home where they're 12-1. They've won 4 in a row. They're playing good basketball at the right time. They're getting better as the season's moving along. Illinois has some road woes of their own. I think it's a really good spot for Wisconsin. Short spread. Can see this being a close game, coming down to some free throws with the Wisconsin victory of 5 or more points.
Yeah, and one quick thing I wanted to add here. You did put it perfectly. The Badgers are 12-1 in home games this year. They're averaging their victory by 11.5 points per game. So they're just dominating teams at home. They've been fantastic, and I think that is going to continue here. Any final words on this game, JD, before we keep it moving to the next one?
No.
There we go.
For me, it is just a stay away game.
Final game of the day, gentlemen. We have the Kansas Jayhawks, who have been quite disappointing this year. They are coming in 23rd in the nation. They are 17-8 on the year. They're only 8-6 in conference. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you. They're taking on BYU, who is also 17-8 on the year, and they are also 8-6 in conference. BYU favored by 3.5 points here. Tough spot, in my opinion, to back BYU, but JD, I'll let you. Actually, you kicked it off last time. Let's be fair. Hefe, kick us off. What do you got?
The way this is such an important game for both teams. Like you said, I'm looking at the conference rankings right now.
They're
dead even in conference ranking, dead even in overall 17-8 record. Kansas is coming off 3 straight road losses.
Yes.
This is another road game for them. And for some reason, I feel like this is a bigger game for the Jayhawks than it is BYU. Maybe it's because of name brand recognition. Maybe it's
probably expectations.
Maybe it's because there's no way in hell that Bill Self thought that his team would have 8 losses in February.
Yeah.
There's no way that Hunter Dickinson didn't go to the G League so he could lose 8 games as Kansas and not as part of the Grand Rapid whatever Vipers. They actually got that right.
I was going to say, I think you're so wrong. I'm going to look it up.
No, they're not the Vipers.
I think they're the Grand Rapids. No, they're not the Vipers. Grand Rapids. Keep going. I'll figure it out. Keep going through your review.
I'm sorry.
Grand Rapids Golds, Hefe. Grand Rapids Golds. Come on. Come on.
We're gonna call them the Vipers. Anyway, I'm liking Kansas here.
Go Vipers.
But thanks, JD. Thanks for having my back. Somebody here knows what the deal is. They're the Vipers.
That might be a woman's team. No, it's just a picture of a woman in the logo. Never mind. It's not. It
Don't
is
be-
the men's team. It is the men's
Don't
team.
be an idiot. It's the Vipers. Anyway, I'm taking Kansas, but I'm taking it with the points. I'm taking it with plus 3.5. I think BYU is a good defensive team. They will feed off of the home crowd, but I think Kansas can steal this one away. They've also had a little stretch here where they lose, they win, they lose, they win. Like they can't put 2 and 2 together. I think they do what it takes to keep this game close. I think Kansas does pull it out, but I'm taking it with the points, 3.5.
I respect that. I also think Kansas is the right play here, but man, is it tough to back Kansas. They have been such a disappointment all year long, and you put it perfectly. Hunter Dickinson he's been okay, but he has no help on this team. When you look at all the stat leaders, he is their entire team. Leader in points, leader in rebounds. Harris is the leader in assists, but every major stat category is Hunter Dickinson, Hunter Dickinson, and Hunter Dickinson. Going over to BYU, this team has played some great basketball this year. They have the biggest recruit in the nation coming next year, so it's an exciting time for the BYU Cougars. However, this year's team, I think they've overperformed. I think they have a decent roster, but I do not think that they are one of the best teams in the Big 12, which they're really not in the standings. They're having a good year, but Houston, Arizona, Texas Tech, and Iowa State are still ahead of them. I think that's all accurate, and I do think this game means everything to Kansas. They were ranked number 1 in the nation this year. This team was supposed to have championship pedigree and championship talent, and they just haven't. I do think they need to turn it around, so give me Kansas plus the points. I think they should be able to get it done, and if they don't, all their players are going over to the Grand Rapids Vipers next year. JD, what do you got?
Thank you for the shout out.
I got you.
Cougars, man. I absolutely love them. But as far as this game,
Stop.
well,
Hilarious. Tell us more. Wait, tell us, please. Please tell us. We're all very interested.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
waiting. Tell us more, please.
but
Tell us about the Cougars.
The Viper Cougars.
The Viper Cougars.
oh gosh,
You like the Cougars. Tell us more.
except in this game, that's another thing. But anyway, what is this line, guys? BYU minus 3.5. Like I was expecting actually like a pick 'em here. So seriously, like I just don't. Well, yes, I understand the line and the fact that Kansas on the road has been horrible. So like I get it from that point of view, but with everything from all the whole season stats here, I have Kansas actually favored by 1 here. So it's not a bet I've made because this number has just been going up more. So I've just been waiting to see like where it goes. But Kansas is going to be a side that I'm definitely going to be on. It doesn't really sound fun. The Cougars sound a lot more fun. But it's just a side that I'm going to have to be on there.
There we go. I respect it. We're either all going to be very excited when we recap this one. I believe tomorrow. We're back tomorrow. Jim?
Yes.
Yes. So tomorrow we'll either be in a really good mood or we're going to be really pissed off. And I'm excited to see which one that's going to be, gentlemen. Let's see.
And also Sophia Kinnan. Shout out to her.
David. Sorry. Do your shout out, JD. I'll message David on the side about the GoFundMe. Listen, it's not up to me. It's about the people. Okay. We've not raised enough. I'm still stuck in here. There's a little slit under the door. They bring me food, but it's mostly mashed peas and mashed potatoes. So please, in all seriousness, donate, please. We need more.
All right, relax, Harry Potter. JD, please continue.
But I'm Sophia Kinnan. She just won for us in a third set tiebreak as a plus 164 underdog. So shout out her.
There we go. Let's go, Sophia Kinnan. Let's win Moneyball metrics even more units. All right, boys. That's going to do it for the wrap for the games portion of this show. But we still have several things that we do on this show. The first thing I do want to go over here is going to be the Moneyball metrics moving sale. And you guys have seen us talk about this for the last week. Today's the last day. You'll see a lot of people talk about promotion saying, oh, today's the last day of the sale. But then you could still really get that deal. That is not the case with this. That is not the case with Moneyball Metrics. This sale is going away by midnight tonight, I believe, at the time I was told. So if you guys want to take advantage of this fantastic deal, $39.95. It's 20% off our all-access package. Get in the Discord, get into VIP, and have some fun and win some bets with some of the best in the business. You will not regret joining Moneyball Metrics. All right, JD. Still one more thing we're going to do on this show today, and that's probably the most important part and what everyone is waiting for. That's going to be the best bets for today, Tuesday, February 18th. Closet Boy, what do you got?
Mississippi State, Kansas plus 3.5.
Be a little more casual, by the way. Be a little more casual. Jesus, dude. Show some respect.
Listen, relax. I think the line of Mississippi State tells me sums up. And even though I have respect for A&M, 5-game win streak, I think Mississippi State has a way to win this game if they play their brand of basketball. And I think they have a better chance of doing it at home than any other place. And Kansas, just like I think that Tom Izzo is going to be screaming at his team, just like I think Hurley's going to be absolutely losing his voice by 5 minutes in tonight for UConn, I think Bill Self is going to be reaming his team to get a much-needed win and to show, honestly, themselves more than anybody that they need to play better, be better in order to make this a year worth anything for them.
Yes, I'm with that 1,000%. Also wanted to let you know, big news, February 22nd, in just 4 days. The Grand Rapid Vipers are back in action. So make sure you guys stay alert to that right now. We are led by DJ Johnson and Gorgi Bezishvili, and we're coming for the G League title. Had to get that out there because we've talked about them a lot in this show. I will jump in next with my best bets for the day. You guys know me. You know I'm the Big Ten guy. Michigan State minus 3.5. Wisconsin minus 3.5. Those are my two. JD, what do you got?
Man, let me see here, man. These lines are moving. Gave out UConn first half. The screen is going to say -4. Even after we've talked, it's up to -5, 5.5
Is
now.
the spread still -9.5 for the full game? Or is that moving to?
It is still at a 9.5. You can actually get an 8.5 at actually FanDuel.
Oh, it's moved. It was 9.5 earlier in the show. Yep, now it's 8.5 minus 120. This line is moving like crazy. Probably also it's the first game of the day. That does help that a lot of bettors want that early action.
UConn first half -5. That's the best line I still see. Yes, I would still play it.
I like how your decision process. We heard if you were gonna, go through with it or not. That was kind of funny.
Okay, yeah. So let's see about the Purdue game because I definitely like them in the first half. You can still get a +2 there. With the +2 Purdue first half. There we go. Those are my two.
Get your phones out. Take your screenshots. Tuesday best bets. The boys are back. All-Star break is over. Let's start winning all the bets again. You can see from me the two Big Ten plays. Both -3.5. Sparty. Badgers. Let's get it. FA. Mississippi State. Kansas +3.5. Let's get it. JD, a.k.a. Line Movers, a.k.a. the GOAT. UConn first half -4 and Purdue first half +2. Gentlemen, it felt good to be back today. It felt good to be back. I enjoyed being on here, as I always do, but it felt a little long, like JD said in the intro, and I agree with you. It was nice to get back on here and chop it up. To everyone in the comments, to David, to Joe, to Doc, to Crypto Warrior, to Nick, everyone. We appreciate every single one of you. J-Bo, even you. Can't leave you out of that. We appreciate every single one of you. Hefe, any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here today?
First day back, we have this little lull until the NBA is back. So
Tomorrow.
let's stack our freaking chip. Is it? Oh yeah, it is back tomorrow. Lakers Hornets. Yep. That's unfortunate. Stack our chips, guys. In the words of the great philosopher JD, let's fucking win. I believe is how it goes.
Love it. JD, do you want to reiterate what the heifer down there said?
Yes, but I need to say something first. Yesterday, I actually went and got my hair cut. And there on the floor, there was so many gray hairs.
Don't get me started.
That's a first. I've never seen any gray hairs. And just that, it just hit a little different.
Oh, it's gonna keep hitting different. Believe me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I can't believe that's your first gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier.
But yeah, it was like not just a few; it was a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
I wear a
yeah,
hat for a reason.
that just came out of nowhere. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. We have games tonight, and we're going to fucking win.
Let's fucking win, boys. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Peace.